News First, face to face with Shalan Benedict.
Hello there, very good evening. Welcome to another edition of Face to Face. Joining us this evening is the General Secretary of the United National Freedom Front, President's Council, Maithri Gunaratne. A very good evening, sir, and welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Charan. Thank you for inviting me.
Mr. Gunaratne, now you've been in Sri Lanka's political game for quite some time. People right now are confused. People don't know who is in government. People are confused as to who is in the opposition. Let's start off with speaking about the recent SLPP convention. Now, when one looks at the convention, one would wonder as to who is really running Sri Lanka, because many of the promises at the SLPP convention were, reduction of taxes, reduction in the cost of living, following a future government, after an election that is to be held in the future. But however, correct me if I'm wrong, but at the previous election, the SLPP got a resounding majority in parliament. They got a resounding majority at the local governments, and if God forbid there was a provincial council election, they would have secured a majority there as well. So I'm confused. What is really happening here, sir?
Charan, one thing is, the Supreme Court has, by its pronouncement of a judgment with regard to the bankruptcy of Sri Lanka, has very clearly spelled out that the main people who are responsible for it were the guys who were seated right in front at this SLPP convention. So basically, Mahinda Rajapaksa, Basil Rajapaksa and the Rajapaksa clan has been responsible in bringing this country to bankruptcy. So whatever they promise, now it is common knowledge that they have absolutely no intention to safeguard the country or put this country on the right track. It is only a case of maintaining their families, maintaining all their catchers, and having a carnival at the expense of this country. So if the people of this country still opt to vote for the Rajapaksas and the SLPP, then we have very, very little hope. We have very, very little hope.
But the idea that was kind of propounded at that is, we need to be a grateful people because they were the ones who won the war.
That's right. Now that is a card. Now the war was won in 2009, and Mr. Mahinda Rajapaksa got a resounding victory in 2010, having won the war, to do the affairs of the country in the same manner he won the war. Now, if he was successful in finishing this war, then people automatically thought, okay, now the war is over, let us give him a mandate from 2010 to 2015 to sort out all the problems in the country and see that the people are happy. But what did he use it for? Moment he got that mandate, the whole family started plundering this country as if there was no tomorrow. And the very same Mahinda Rajapaksa who was voted in 2010 was defeated in 2015. So therefore, I mean, that hackneyed cry is no more valid with the people, because okay, they have paid that debt to Mahinda Rajapaksa and the family. They have paid that debt. You won the war, we gave you another term, and now they
gave him another term
as well. So you could see that the majority of the people of this country who voted for them has obviously taken a wrong decision. On two different occasions they have taken a wrong decision, and by voting for Mr. Gotabaya Rajapaksa, that was a disastrous decision, and what brought us to bankruptcy was the decisions he took during his tenure of office. So if the people are still going to vote for the SLPP or the Port Tour, I mean, then I don't think even God can help this country.
Mr. Gunaratne, now the people are also faced with another conundrum as to, if not the SLPP, then who? who is the alternative? Now, different parties, various political parties have come out into the fray and are, fielding themselves as the next viable solution. Obviously, you've got the SJP, then you've got the JJB, which has only currently 3 members of parliament, but the popularity is growing. Then also you've got new parties formed by various businessmen, entrepreneurs, influential people in society. So with this new phenomenon, of course, coming, Sri Lanka has for the longest time been a 2-party system.
Yes.
Either party A or party B, Greens and the Blues. That's how it went.
Yes.
But with this new phenomenon coming about, what do you see in the future?
What is happening is now, Chalan, this is, I think, in our electoral history, this is the only time where people, there has been a small census done with regard to whom people are going to vote for at the next election.
Okay.
Because as you know, elections are around the corner. So in that census, it has transpired that 40 to 45% of the people don't know whom they are going to vote, or they are not going to vote at all.
Okay.
So what in effect what has happened is the floating voter, that vote base has increased from maybe 15 to 20% to 45%.
That's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Okay.
Absolutely, it's a wonderful thing.
Okay.
And I think the Aragalaya takes responsibility for that. You must give that credit to them, because they are the people who dislodged the Rajapaksas, not this political, the opposition and the other parties. It was none other than a people's movement by the name of the Aragalaya. Without firing a single bullet, they were able to dislodge the most dangerous group of people who are running this country. So now with this large floating voter, maybe 40 to 45%. Now, if they do not vote, Chalan, what is going to happen is the other 55% will vote and send these same rascals in. So that's a very, very dangerous situation to be.
Because then the people who didn't vote will also have to suffer.
Will have to suffer.
Okay.
So therefore now it is time for this 45%. They have to think, they have to act responsibly, and they need to all organize themselves, because otherwise all of us are still staying in this country. We have not opted to leave. So we need to make this a better place. And I as a general secretary of a political party, it is our responsibility to give this 45% who are still not decided as to what to do an option, because they certainly don't see the SJB as an option, they don't see the JJB as an option, they don't see the UNP as an option, they don't see the POTU as an option at all. So they are looking for a new force, a new consortium to come forward. And I feel time is ripe now for right thinking people or like thinking people to start getting together and organizing themselves so that they can face an election. Now the problem is, Chalan, I am vigorously trying to get this group together. But the moment you go and talk to this right thinking, like thinking people, and you tell them, okay, you need to come and contest an election, then my God, they start bolting out.
They don't want to contest.
They don't want to contest. So point is this: if you want to change this system, you need to come into the system.
You can't change the system from outside.
You cannot change the system from outside. So therefore, my humble plea is all these like thinking people must come forward and get together and see how we can change the system. It is very simple. Because I mean, all you need is at the next parliamentary election, each district, there are 22 districts, you need to field a very good strong list so that the people have an option. And this list should be of people who are whose stature there are no skeletons in their cupboards, because most of the groups in parliament, most of them, I mean, they will not be able to field a competent list for the next election. They will have to give the same people nominations, because otherwise they will lose their grip in those areas. Whether they win or not is not the criteria, but they will have to give. So then, what is the option the people are going to have? If the same political parties forward almost the same candidates at the next election, and if there is no alternative, force, what happens? Then the little votes which are going to be polled will be polled on those fellows, and the same lot will return. So if you want to change it, all right thinking, like thinking people must come together, irrespective of our differences. At least for 5 years, make it a mandate for 5 years. Come, put this right, and then you can go your ways. Because there are many people, and I have come across lots of people who are very talented in various fields. They are coming, they are lying low, they are not contributing. We can make use of their expertise to take this country to a different place. We need to develop different types of hubs, like now, for instance, tourism can be made into a 5 million tourist arrival. When you take this country, Chalan, compared to Maldives, what have Maldives got to offer and what have we got to offer? We have got so much to offer, but we have failed to place ourselves properly. At least I must say, presently, with some of the relaxing of visas being given to foreigners, those are extremely good steps the government is taking. So what is good is good. I mean, they are doing a lot of things to get more and more tourists to come in. But we need now, if you take the airport, as you enter the airport, I mean, you look at the immigration guys, you want to go back. You go to the duty free, you want to go back, because it's like a fish market. Then you come out of the airport, you get the taxi drivers, the van drivers who are trying to kill each other to get people in. So what is the first impression? So you need, I mean, Minister of Tourism, whoever it is, whoever is running this in the state of Sri Lanka, needs to put these things right, Chalan. Otherwise you can't promote tourism. I mean, I have traveled to places like Malaysia, I've gone to Singapore. I mean, they are so nice, so polite, so kind. Those people, I mean, irrespective of who you are, they are very kind to you. But here you don't get that. So what I'm saying is, you need to change. You need to change this, and we need all talented people to come into the center stage and take control of this power game.
But President's Council Maithri Gunaratne, now, do you think that the current political ambience in Sri Lanka, or the current political state in Sri Lanka, is really conducive for newcomers to come in and contest?
This is the best time. This is the best time. I don't think the time is as ripe as it is presently situated. Because, as I told you earlier, 40 to 45% is the floating vote. So if we can put a group together, if we can get a consortium together of like-minded people, I mean, I think we can really push it through. There is no problem. Because now, for instance, Chalan, if I ask you a question, whom are you going to vote for? What is your answer? I mean, I know you, because you are working for this station, you can't. But do you have an option? Do you have an option?
I think that's a question better directed to the general public.
The general public. Do you have an option? Whom are you going to vote for? So what I'm saying is, you need, and the other thing is this. Now, when you are electing people, whether it's the president, whether it's a member of parliament, whoever it is, this is the only place where we elect someone with no qualifications. You give him the best job. Now, if you take parliament, they say about 125 members have not passed their O-levels. So many others have not passed their A-levels. So you have appointed people who are not qualified to run the state of Sri Lanka and compete with the world. You are competing with India, you are competing with Malaysia, you are competing with Singapore. You take their cabinets, all doctorates, all very erudite people. So how do you compensate that? So you need to bring in a mixture. You need educated people, you need people with experience, you need businessmen, you need all of them to come and make this state of Sri Lanka, because this is possible. People say you can bring this country right in only 2048. I don't think it is correct. Within 6 months, this country can be put on the correct track, because all the infrastructure is there, all the king's men, all the king's horses are there. All you need is proper management. This country lacks proper management. It is a management problem. And with this set in parliament, I don't think you can ever even think of a proper management. So you need to get right people to come and take over this, and then I think it can be sorted out within 6 months. Within 3-4 years, we will be able to come out of this debt also.
Mr. Gunaratne, now, when you speak about appointing new members to parliament, appointing fresh faces, people with more qualifications, all of those are really good. However, moving forward, it's most likely that next year at the general election, Sri Lanka will have a hung parliament. It's very hard to kind of imagine even that one party will get an absolute majority or even a simple majority.
That's true. Perfectly correct.
In parliament.
Perfectly correct.
This game of forming alliances, of course, is going to come about again. So, speaking from your perspective as a general secretary of a minor party here in Sri Lanka, do you think there is any political party that you can align yourself with?
No, I'm not going to align myself with the so-called these main parties who have been responsible in bringing this country to its knees. So what I'm saying is, we need to think out of the box. We need to think newly. We have to have new faces, new party, and to take this country at least at its 100th anniversary, where we are marching towards a developed nation. So we have got about another 25 years. That is all possible. But what I'm saying is, if right thinking people still remain to be silent, then you cannot change this. You know, as Martin Luther King said, it is not the evil of the bad people, but it's the silence of the good people that causes all the chaos. So all I'm saying is, if you are silent, forget it.
So, Mr. Gunaratne, speaking of more national politics, of course, here in Sri Lanka, with President Ranil Wickremesinghe, of course, coming into office, there were certain issues that were fixed, at least. The queues that were there are no more. And moving forward, the president has also intimated his intention of contesting another presidential election. No plans on your part to maybe support him?
No, I don't plan to support anyone, because as it is, all these parties in parliament seem to be having a lot of baggage with them. So if I try to hitch my carriage somewhere there, I think the credibility, I will lose credibility. Okay. But as you said, Chalan, I mean, there are a lot of good things he has done. I mean, I have been a critic of his. Whenever it is, where praise is necessary, you have to do that, and that's I suppose the way it should go. Okay. I mean, we all appreciate that. Yes. But now, having done that challenge, when you take the cricket fiasco, and when you see how this Minister Ranatunga, Roshan Ranatunga, Roshan Ranasinghe, how he was exited out of the cabinet, and actually he was a guy who was trying to make some kind of change there, but ultimately corruption won. Now, if you take even the police department, the present IGP, the acting IGP. Now, on numerous occasions, we have gone to court. We have filed actions saying that, I mean, he's not responsible. He's responsible and he's not suitable. But unfortunately, the courts took a different opinion. We filed action against Cabral being appointed as Governor Central Bank. He was not suitable. But court took a different opinion.
I don't think court can really intervene in those appointments.
No, not the appointment, but the point is the criteria. If a person does not have the criteria to go there, at least inquire into it. But Well, those are matters which
But Mr. Gunaratne, if the constitution is vested discretion with the president, what can the judiciary do?
Now I'm just giving you an example. Now, when appointment of the governor of the central bank, clearly it is a disqualification, right? Not constitutional, not in the act, but it is by practice. No person who has a whole affiliation can go. Cabral goes as deputy minister. He goes straight to the Central Bank of Sri Lanka. So now those are issues. I mean, we were asking for trouble, and what happened? What happened? 3 months after that, we had to declare self bankrupt. Now again with Deshabandhu Tennakon, Aragale, on the 9th of May. The former IGP sent a letter to him saying that this Gotago Gama is going to be attacked. Written letter saying that intelligence department has given this advice. I have got the letter with me. I can give it to anyone. Now, having given that to this present acting IGP, what does he do? He completely ignores that letter. Then when the group was marching from Temple Trees to, he calls the president, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa says, "Komari mekanawattan." In fairness to the man, but what does he do? He disobeys that. He takes instructions from someone else, and he lets them to come and attack the people there. And you saw the damage which was caused. 100 odd houses were burnt. One member of parliament was killed. See, and now Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe gives him that acting. I can't understand this constitutional council with what conscience they can appoint a person like this as the police commissioner or the IGP. Sorry. So when the president is supposed to do things which are beneficial to the people of this country, and when stupid decisions like this are made, then you are doubting his genuineness in trying to pull this country from this rut. That is why I personally don't want to hitch my carriage because I don't see any genuineness. I mean, genuineness will come only in the actions. Genuineness will come in the action. So these actions are keeping the place open.
Are very disingenuous.
Yeah, definitely.
President's Counsel Gunaratne, so according to the president, he says that next year, first election is going to be a presidential election. So where will your party stand?
Actually, Chalan, thank you for the question. We are in discussion with many groups. Many groups, because we find that these like-thinking people are all in small areas. They are talking to each other as to what we are going to do. So, I mean, this program is very timely because I think we should all get together and see whether we can decide on someone who is going to take this country forward.
Okay.
Because and we have time. And Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe, I mean, if he still has time to recover and make a comeback. Because politics, every 2 weeks you can make a comeback if you do the right things and continue to do the right things. So I mean, as we said, I mean, he has done a quite okay job, especially Chalan with the foreign countries and various foreign trips he has made. I've been following. He has come out quite well in those. Okay. He has come out quite well. Even this climate change thing, he has gone to. He went to Dubai.
Yes.
I mean, he has contributed because whatever said and done, he is knowledgeable on those subjects and he has contributed. But what I'm saying is all that when he makes these appointments, he also must be genuine in those. He must be genuine in those, and if that kind of reassurance is given to the general public, I mean, then there is no need for us to have any other options. But we need to see that he's 100% genuine, and he wants to take this country from what it is to a better place.
But of course, questions of genuineness with the past actions, of course, of individuals also, it's quite hard to reconcile when the Supreme Court determines that a certain group is responsible for, you know, the economic crisis of the country, and you see the head of state
breaking bread with them. I mean, that
quite literally. Quite literally. Thank you very much, President's Counsel Maithri Gunaratne, for joining us on our program this evening. Thank you very much, of course, to all our viewers out there as well. And of course, as we continue to be citizens of Sri Lanka, to live in this beautiful country, it is incumbent upon all of us. It is our responsibility to contribute to the development of this country. And given the dearth in the political leadership in Sri Lanka, like President's Counsel Maithri Gunaratne said, now might be the perfect time for you, if you are wondering how you can contribute to the politics of Sri Lanka, to maybe take a shot at representing the general public. Thank you very much for tuning in. Until we meet again, take care and God bless.